Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So, important thing here is that this triangle is still very much intact. So that is a consolidation triangle. Did put a comment out on the DAX yesterday that we were in a squeeze. If you look at this in the Bollinger Band on the daily, you will see we're in a squeeze. So just starting for the daily, you can see last 3 days pretty much range bound inside a triangle, and I'm just going to put the daily levels in quickly, and then we'll get down to see what's actually going on. So I would argue that those are the two levels. We'll look at them now, but have a look at the oscillators here on the daily, stuck in the middle of nowhere. Does look like they are rolling over though. That's an important thing to understand, and that is an engulfing bar, not off structure, but it's an engulfing bar inside a consolidation triangle. So when we start looking at the levels we're interested in, the 8 hour, pretty much that downward trend line is still very much intact. You can probably just fine tune that, lock it in place, lock that one in place, and fine tune this one as well. So you can see we kind of closed just below it, and now we're hovering just below that trend line. And if you draw your trend lines this way, that gives you the big diamond that I've been talking about last week. So still nothing really brewing. Oscillators have crossed over. That's fairly interesting, but we don't have structure. We're stuck in a range or triangle. Take your pick. It's one of the two, and both are valid. So if we start getting down to the levels we're interested in, you can see from a 3 hour perspective, we had a pretty much up and down day, and then dropped below the trend line. And I'm just going to readjust it again. See, we're picking up that tail and this tail here, and you can see that first was a rejection, and then that's obviously an after hours. We'll take that now. I'm not sure if that was after hours. I know there was a big massive gap in the middle of nowhere yesterday on the 5 minutes. No, that was after hours. Okay, so the gap I'm talking about on the 5 minute was here. We'll have a look at that now, but look at all those tails. So yesterday was pretty much a confused day. We now have a crossover of the oscillators here. Just coming back to the 3 hour, we don't have a crossover, but the moving averages are pointing to the downside. Oscillators are all over the place. On the hour, sorry, correction, we've got a crossover of the moving averages. Oscillators are bullish at the moment, but we are below the moving averages. So I should be looking for shorts. And if you look at what happened yesterday, pretty much nothing here. All these tails, barbed wire confusion, and then going at the close, we had this pretty big sell-off. Now, I am leaning towards a bearish outlook at the moment. I was yesterday, but we're looking for confirmation. Confirmation kind of came here, but I don't like the way all these tails, there wasn't really any structure here, so ignored that. But look at this gap here. So there's a candle close, then a massive gap up, and then we get a big engulfing on that. Then back up, and then another big engulfing. Something is brewing. There's no two ways about that, and the bulls are getting attacked. So if I just zoom back out to the hour, and let's just assume that from here to here is a move down, and this is a flag. So what I'm looking for is just bring my Fibonacci into play, and you can see this level here is of interest. So we've already kind of rejected there. We've got a bit of a gap up, but that there is looking very much like an attack at this triangle for a move to the downside. So not entirely convinced yet, but the fact that we are continuing to make lower highs here, and with this little close below, you can see there, it's a double bottom close below the trend line, but that is very much what's in play at the moment. So, summarize, I would be interested in a rejection of 41.25. Failing that, I don't think there is much on the 50-minute that we can pay attention to. 5 minutes kind of all over the place as well. So I would expect this after hours trend just come down, close a gap, and then sort of just hover on this trend line until we get some structure. Have a look at the 5-minute gaps there. So that's definitely a target area. There is a gap up there, which is also a target area, but look at this group of gaps here. So that is, something was brewing here. Actually, I'm not sure whether it was my charts or whether everybody else is seeing it. So let me know in the comments whether you see that cluster of gaps here. It's around 20 past 3 GMT time. 20 past 3 GMT time. So, well, actually the first one was 3:30 GMT time. So that would have been 5:30 UK or German time. So that's kind of what we're seeing at the moment. Lots of gaps yesterday, which always gets me wary, but those have closed. These are still open. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. It's looking for a rejection here, 41.25. Alternatively, this could form a flag, and then we take, that's probably going to be the safest bet there, like that. So come down, test this trend line, boom, boom, boom. But then what we want is just to extend, let's put that one there, extend that one up like that. That gives you the flag, or don't really have much structure here except for there. So that could also be the break of the flag that is sort of brewing. Okay, and that also gives me a measured move down to there, and we'll just go to the hour. Yeah, so that would be my first target area, would be 41.08, and then you're probably going to find us drop down to, let's just go here, 41.04. 41.04 would be the measured move, and that is bottom of the bigger range. But the important thing here when you look at the bigger range is the series of lower highs. So in other words, it is forming a big flat bottom triangle, the top of a move. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. Looking to short from structure in the area that we're in now, anticipating a break of this triangle, come down to 41.04, 4100, probably a pretty violent bounce off there to come and test one of these breaks of all these tails that it's going to get through. And then if there's another rejection, there's going to be a longer move up, because then I anticipate a break of 4104. Anyway, that's kind of my view today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.